and welcome back to my channel. I am Cher. I would love it if you would give me a good old like and subscribe. I typically blog beauty, lifestyle, and occasionally parenting disabilities, and it's another beauty. I'm primarily a beauty channel these days, but I am super excited about today's episode because I'm going to be unboxing and reviewing these goodies from Luminess. It did have this beautiful bow on it that I've already unwrapped. So sorry, I wish I could have shown you before I unwrapped it. It was so pretty. It just came amazing. I just want to pet it. But anyway, I'm so excited because this is, if you've never heard of them, they are an Airbrush Foundation company. They have a lot of different goodies, makeup, a lot of extra things with it too. I have really been looking into Airbrush Foundation for my makeup practice. You know, at the moment I offer traditional foundation, but I would really like to look into Airbrush to offer my clients. It's just that next step up. It is wonderful coverage, really gives you, like it sounds, that airbrush look and finish. And it's great for weddings, like outdoor weddings specifically. It just holds up well. And it's kind of a new and coming thing, an extra service that you can provide to your brides. So I have been researching. So I was thrilled when Luminess reached out to me and wanted to know if I wanted to try their system. I was absolutely thrilled. I was like, yes, because I was going to go buy some of their goodies myself, and so they saved me the trip. So this is not a sponsored video. However, Luminess did give me their system, and so I was not asked to do this video for them, really just to share my review somewhere, and I decided it would make a great YouTube video. So I just wanted to give you that disclaimer that it was gifted to me. However, this is not sponsored by them. So so these are my thoughts. I'm just going to go ahead. I have not even touched it hardly at all. I have opened it up and looked at it, but I haven't started playing yet. So I thought I would bring you with me to play with it and for us both to figure out together how this system works. And just to interrupt, a quick disclaimer too. Excuse this face. I'm not wearing my makeup. I mean, I have like my brows done, like a touch of eyeliner, but nothing else on my face because I'm going to be playing with the foundation. So obviously I wanted to have a somewhat clean face. So just wanted to tell you that's why I'm looking a little scary. I normally look much better and put together than this, I promise. Okay, so when you open it up, such a fancy, luxurious box. Love this already. This is kind of how it looks. I don't know if this is how it was packaged because some of it had shifted a little bit probably in during shipping. But you've got your handheld device here. So we're going to be checking this one out. And underneath here. Oh my goodness, you guys. They're eyeshadow palette, like little single eyeshadows. It's a click and play single eyeshadow. Oh my goodness. They look so fancy too. I'm so excited about these. We have airbrush cleaning solution, so hopefully to help us clean it. We have rose water facial mist. We have the Velvet Veil Skin Perfecting Serum. I think this might be like a primer, the use of a primer. What I was reading, we'll look into that in a minute. Down in here, it looked like little colors. Setting spray. I guess maybe we can use the airbrush for setting spray. This is a matte. Okay, so this is, okay, a bronzer. I know this can do like the blush and bronzer and all of that too, so I guess these are more along those lines. This is a brown, oh, a brow and root. So we can be using this for other things, not just foundation. Super excited about that. We have Pearl. This is on face and body. Golly, maybe like highlight, you think? And then more brow and roots, so different colors for the brows. We have a gold. That might be highlight or something. And then we have blonde, so that's probably, yeah, brown root also. So some brows, some bronze. Okay, in here, these are brow like stencils. So you can see those. So I guess we're gonna be doing something with these brows. This is the first time I'm seeing this right along with you, so we're gonna be figuring out together. You might figure it out before I do. And I'm just going to say I have actually never used an airbrush foundation system myself. However, I have seen it in use because I have shadowed and trained with another makeup artist who has kind of taught me a lot, as she has done weddings and I've shadowed her at the weddings. And so she showed me around a bit, but I've never done it myself, like on clients, or really kind of figured out the system myself. So I maybe know a little about it, but I haven't done it. So this will be my first time, guys. Now down underneath, we have the foundations in here. Woohoo, so excited. So I think they went and sent me a bunch. Okay, we've got shade 40. Got a lot of, these may be the shades for me rather than all different shades. So maybe like a few different ones so I can find the right one. We've also got these little, this is an illuminator as opposed to foundation shades. So that was different. Oh, and then I think we have maybe a blush as well. So wow, so excited about this. So you get so much stuff in this kit. I'm so excited and so thankful to them for sending all of these goodies. This is gonna be so much fun. One thing I do know, at least with when I was working weddings with my girl, is that we always start with the foundation first, the airbrush first, as opposed to when I do traditional foundation, and I usually start with the brows first, and I do foundation kind of after I've done the eyes and everything. Kitty wants to say hi. So we'll see if it recommends that we do that with this one as well. She was using a different system, but the Luminess is a very popular one. I think it's a great brand, heard wonderful things about it. So I'm thrilled that I'm getting the chance to use it. Okay, so I have read a little bit about it and just a couple things about Luminess. What are the cosmetics actually made of, airbrush cosmetics? It says that it is featuring a water-based formula designed to provide you with flawless skin without all the harsh ingredients. So it is hypoallergenic and dermatologist tested, perfect for sensitive skin. So just something to know about that. Now, I don't tend to have very sensitive skin, so I'm not gonna be able to test that out for you and give you a review on that, but you know, just know that it says that. It is definitely great for acne prone skin. I mean, airbrush is just fabulous for that kind of, those kind of targeting areas. One thing it talks about, you can kind of come back with some different rounds depending on how light you want your coverage. So you start off, you can do one sheer pass for very light coverage, wait 3 to 5 seconds, then come back with medium coverage, wait another 3 to 5 seconds, and then if you want a really full coverage, you can come back for a third pass. So just kind of depends on how much you want. So that's kind of the concept with applying it. Of course, you never want to apply it while it's still wet, so you got to wait that 3 to 5 seconds in between. And what else? It's in like a circular motion, and they do talk about trying to start with your problem areas first. So I'm probably going to start right about here because you can see my age spots. You know, that's probably my biggest areas, you know, where the sun hits me is, you know, my aging. That's where my aging is right in here. So I will probably be starting in here. It tells us, I think we were, you know, starting on the face and kind of working our way in, but we're going to be going in circular type motions and holding it out enough of a distance. Yes, okay. 4 finger widths from the face. So at least right about here. You don't want to get too close. Keep a fairly good distance. Some other things about it. Also, you don't want to be using other foundations in this machine. You should be using what they send with it, like other traditional foundations are not made to go in this machine, and other makeup is not made to go in this machine. So you want to stick with the airbrush foundation that is meant for this, okay? Or it can mess up your airbrush. So has this little gadget at the top. I think they're saying you pull this little handle back, and I believe this is where the mixture goes. So we're gonna give it a shot, and of course here is our power button. So looks easy peasy, little handheld device. This is going to be so fabulous. I may have to charge it. It does come with a charger. Okay, yeah, there's the little portable charger area here. So we're probably gonna need to charge it, but I'll probably charge it for a couple minutes if it's not already charged. So it looks like it's just easy, just plug it in to recharge it, make sure. I guess that'd be the thing, is always keep this in mind if you are doing weddings, formal makeup, make sure that your thing is charged ahead of time before you go, so it's not dead when you get there. So it is needing to charge for a minute. So I'm sitting right here, letting it sit on the charger for a second. Worst case worst, we'll just do it while it's charging, because it'll probably work still as long as it's on the charger. So I'm gonna start trying to pick out a shade. You know, with my girl, when we've done her weddings, she mixes and matches all kinds of shades together for whatever people are doing. It's a whole new system to figure out, but I'm just going to start off with one shade and see if I can find like one that works for me. But I guess if you don't find your perfect shade, you can mix shades together, get that perfect look you're going for. So I'm just going to try to find which one is probably going with my skin better. We're going to go try to match here. I've got shade 020. I'm thinking these are probably going to be a little dark for me. I think that's going to be too dark. And that one might work. So I'm normally a neutral skin tone, so I'm wondering if they have them identified by whether it's like neutral versus yellow versus pink. I don't see a label for that. I could probably look online and see if they have them recommended by like what type they are. I mean, I could probably tell from looking at them. These are, honestly, I think they're all probably neutral. I don't know, it could work. You notice how my face is darker than my neck. So I try to kind of go with both, kind of a blend of both. It kind of depends on what you want to match. Some people want to match their body and some want to match their face. And then the neck is a lot of times like lighter because the sun's not always hitting, like, you know, our chin's in the shadow. So I think that's kind of normal, having like a lighter neck. Although if you tend to wear sunscreen on your face but you forget your neck, then you could be opposite and have lighter face than your neck. So it just kind of depends on everybody, but a lot of times we are not the same color on our body as we are on our face. So it kind of depends on where you're wanting to match to. I tend to, like with clients, I kind of just look at their overall, like all of this area here. Unless they're like completely covered and I can't see, then I look at their arms and legs or something just to get a feel. But you know, if they've been tanning or whatever, also just depends on like, do they want to match their tan? It's really up to them. But in general, I kind of just look at all of this together and go with like a medium in between somewhere, so there's not like a harsh line blending the two into each other. That's kind of my tactic with matching foundation. I'm honestly kind of thinking this because the other ones I feel like might get me a little too pale. This one might be the one, which at first glance I didn't really think. Okay, so this one is shade 030 Silk 4-in-1 Airbrush Foundation. So we're going to give it a shot. See how this goes. You guys, I'm so excited. So excited. Beyond excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store, y'all. Okay, the instructions actually say shake it up. So we're going to shake it up first. And they actually recommend that we put a little dab on our finger first and match it before we go spraying it all over our face. Probably a good tip. I was about to just start spraying it all over my face. And it seems to work. What do y'all think? I think that might be it. Yeah. Shake it for 60 seconds before application. So we're going to do 60 seconds. I won't make y'all do this for the whole 60. Well, maybe I will. I'll just talk. After that, we're going to place 6 to 8 drops of the Airbrush Foundation into the makeup well. You know, the way I read that was makeup well. Not the makeup well, like this is the well. I know, y'all are like, do we have to put up with her to watch this? Okay, here we go. I don't know if I did 60 seconds. I just kind of guessed how much 60 seconds was. So we're gonna do 1 squirt, 2 squirts, 3, 4, 5, 6. Press on and off button. Turn the device on. Okay. Oh, okay. Are we ready? So nothing coming out now. I feel air, but there's nothing coming out. I was like, what's going on here? What's going on? Okay, we're gonna pull the trigger now. Ready? Ooh. I see why they say do this first before your makeup, because, you know, you can catch your brows and eye area probably. Okay. Now I'm gonna let it sit for a few minutes and dry. I think they said, what, 3 to 5 seconds? What do you think? I don't think I spread it out good. I must have gotten a little spot right there. We're gonna need to make sure that we are good at spreading and evening out better. I didn't follow her map. I should have just started following the map, and I was just doing whatever. Actually, it's starting to even out, isn't it? It looks like it's evening out some. So this, I probably missed these spots here, so I need to make sure I'm going back. So you guys are coming with me for my very first time ever doing this on my own. So you see how well I am when I first learn something. You're learning with me. So it says spraying too close will cause makeup to look blotchy and caked on. So I probably got it close. I mean, it doesn't look blotchy and caked on. It was just more that it was like, you can tell that I went over that spot the most, and I probably just didn't hit these spots. So you got to know what you've hit, I think. We're going to come back and do a medium coverage now. Medium coverage pass, but I'm going to try to follow the order this time of the map. Okay. So we're starting, 1 is on the cheek here. Oh, gotta turn it back on. Two is gonna be down on the chin. Where is 3? I don't see a 3. Oh, 3 is neck. I missed the neck before. Okay, 4 is going to be this side. I'm making sure I'm covering the cheek, that spot right there that I missed before. Okay, and 5 was, actually 5 was the cheek and 4 was this side. 6 is up on the forehead. I may still be doing it too close. I know when I've watched my girl do it, she's not this close, so I think of. And then 7 is the nose. Hard to know if you're getting it right, like in these little T-zone areas in the nose, because you still need to do circular motions. Oh, actually, it's saying to do like that. Okay. All right, we're going to let that dry for a minute, see how that goes. I think it's starting to get there, but it's very blended. You know, I can feel it going on. It actually feels pretty good. It's very like soothing. So yeah, you know what I really should have done? I really should have applied this on one side and done traditional foundation on the other side to compare the look. That's what I should have done. Definitely looking better than the fright that I was earlier though, don't y'all think? I think it's just this little T-zone area. It's a little hard to get to with airbrush. But we do so much with concealer there that I don't think that that is going to be an issue. I really, when I go with traditional, I go very light in here. I really don't, and I don't get up around the eyes at all. So because the concealer is going to cover like a lot of this. So yes, what are y'all thinking? Definitely, I think is the perfect color match for me. It's blending in perfectly on my skin. It has that airbrush look for sure. I think I'm gonna come back in with a third round though and do the heavy coverage. So let's start again. All right, so it says we're gonna start over here. I'm actually gonna start on this side because this is my worst side. It's worse than this one because, you know, the first place that you squirt is always the heaviest makeup. So, and that's what I want, is the heaviest here. Turn it on, Cher. You know, I can really see it. Can you see that glow? I feel like I'm getting like a glow now, which I love. That's what I want. I love giving my brides a glow. Yeah, I think it's the heavy coverage for me that I'm going to be doing. Okay, I'm going to do the forehead. Kitty's like, oh my, we're spraying, I'm out of here. And the nose. Sorry, I know I keep going over that spot because that's my spot right there. Oh, wow. Look, guys. I love that. I love that. I can tell now. Doing like the heavy, so going with the 3 rounds and doing the more heavy coverage is the way to go. But it's such, I mean, think about if you're doing traditional, you're going to have to keep taking on like, and you have to pick a foundation based on what coverage it is, you know, and you can kind of go light with it. But if it's a light coverage foundation, doesn't always matter 1 round versus 3, it's still a light foundation. With this, it's like you can choose a more heavy coverage just based on how many rounds you're doing. So I love that. I love that you can do like all different types of coverage. If you want, you can go with a more sheer or you can go with a heavier. So, but with it being airbrush, like none of it looks cakey at all. I mean, this is just like absolutely fabulous. You just think this is my skin. Just plain old my skin. Love it. Absolutely love it. And I think I'm going to be stocking up on like every color to give this to my clients. So now we're going to play around with some of the other stuff that's not just the foundation. And I have no idea what I'm doing with that, so I'm going to have to read the directions on it too. So give me just a minute. I goofed, guys, and I probably should put this on first. This probably is kind of like the primer. So Skin Perfecting Serum. So you put this on under the makeup. I missed out on that part, but I'm going to see what it feels like maybe on my neck. Just see. Ooh, nice. It squirts out with the dropper. Sorry, try to. Ooh, I like the smell of it. So it's like, it's a serum. It is more like a serum. Ooh. I feel like it's like, do you see the wrinkles on my neck? It's really like going over there so smoothly. It's like it's smoothing out my neck. Love that. Okay, so I got to remember to use it first. I did it in the wrong order. Okay, and this cleaning solution, we won't need that at first. Spray onto skin before or after makeup application. So this is a rose water facial mist. So since it says we can do it after makeup, I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, I am going to try out some of these eyeshadows for you real quick before I try to figure out how to clean it so that I can try out, like, sorry, Kitty's saying hi too, so that I can get the blush and bronzer and all of that going for you. Kitty. Oh my gosh, how stunning is that? Is that not gorgeous? Look at these little eyeshadows. So this is called the Core. It's Core Satin. And I'll just put these on my eyes for you. This one is called Cave. So beautiful. This one looks like it's more of a matte, and that one's a little more of a shimmer. Yes, we got those two so far. They just look so beautiful. So I love the packaging. All right, we've got Ginger. This is a matte. There. And then we have Desert. This is also a matte. Nice. All right, so maybe we can really quickly throw on some makeup with these. What am I going to do? I'm going to try out, I'll try this one out as my little, like a startup bit, transitioner base. We're gonna do makeup just really quick on the fly because I just want to try out the eyeshadows. I love this. Very like elegant, silky blend. We're not gonna do anything too like complicated, and y'all don't judge my makeup skills at the moment because I'm going on the fly. See how this is working. A very light color pink. I'm gonna just kind of spread it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm gonna do my finger. See how it blends like on the lid a little bit. Very light, kind of pinkish, but it's almost coming off more as like a tan. Very pretty. I'm gonna definitely do this one as my darker. These are like perfect like neutral colors with a little touch of pink maybe. Just gonna kind of do in the lid some. My eyebrows look a little wonky. I guess I'm gonna have to redo the brows to try out the brow products. I shouldn't have done my brows beforehand. I didn't think about that. And then I'm gonna put this shimmer maybe around the lid and see how that looks. Oh yes. Love it. That'll make a great, like, look at that. Look at the butter. Very pretty. Very pretty. I love those. I just adore the packaging on these guys. I really love it. So if I pop on some like eyeliner and mascara real quick and then see if we can figure out this whole blush and bronzer system. And then I guess I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing with the brows. So I may have to take them off. So back in a second. Okay guys, I actually went ahead and put on my concealer like I normally do. I haven't done like setting powder or anything. Popped on some lipstick and eyeliner. We're gonna go ahead and try out cleaning it for a minute so that we can get that sorted out to figure out the bronze and the blush and all. So we're gonna try the cleaning system. So what we do is we squirt some drops in here to clean it, and it's probably not open, so yep, gotta pop the little top off. All right, now we're gonna try it. So we're gonna clean, put like 3 drops in there, close it, and then we cover the little valve here, turn it on, and I think it's gonna form bubbles for a minute. Oh yeah, okay, and I should probably have put down some Kleenex. So let me do that for a minute. Okay, so we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna show you what it's doing. So I'm gonna turn on the power, and then we're gonna pull back on this trigger. And you should be able to start to see, well, there were bubbles coming out, but it's probably at the end of it now. But as you can see, it's kind of letting it clean out. Do that for a few seconds. Okay, getting it good and clean. Then I'm gonna come in over the top with a Q-tip and just kind of clean out the rest. And you can put the cleaning solution on a Q-tip, get in there on the top, clean all that out. Easy peasy. So now we're ready for I want to start off with blush. Bronzer. Let's do this. It's just the coolest if you can apply bronzer with this too, and blush and highlight. No clue if it will come out the same way as when we do it normally, right? All right, let's see how this looks. I'm about to go pick my son up from school, so if this goes awry, y'all, the teachers are used to seeing me come to school all crazy. I'm always experimenting with something. Okay, I'm about to pull the trigger. You ready? We're gonna try bronzer the way I would normally do it. Whoa, I started way too. So fun. Okay, just make sure you don't start too low like I did. We're gonna do it where I would normally bronze. Oh my God, I love it, y'all. What a cool way to bronze. Okay, I probably didn't put enough drops in it. Can you like stop it before it dries? There we go. Okay, I don't want it to dry like that. And I think I got a little much on. So yeah. So probably need to start off like going ahead and going faster than I did instead of sitting over it with the bronze. And now I'm probably making it worse. Crazy. So here's some tips on what not to do. And here's the side. So it probably needs more drops than what I put in, but don't start off bronzing your face like a clown. It will probably take a little getting used to use airbrush. All right, let's try this side. See if I can get it better. I'm gonna start up at the top instead of down at the bottom by my like mouth. Right. Oh, whoa, now I decided to like contour way up the cheekbone, didn't I? Yeah, it's gonna take a little getting used to doing bronze like the right way. We're gonna go around the face. I mean, that's just really cool. Let's see if I can fix what I did over here. It's gonna look very bronzed today. I do go very heavy on bronze usually, but this this is a little much. Okay, we got it to work a little better over here on this side. So start at the top instead of down here where it's gonna end up with your mouth. But that's really cool. I love this concept, guys. This is amazing. I'm gonna try blush. I'm not gonna rinse it out for this one. Because normally I kind of blend my blush into the bronzer if I was doing this traditionally. So it's probably down to the end of the bronze right now anyway. So I'm gonna just kind of see how it is if we blend it all together. Okay, and this one is called, well, it just says blush, but it's Tulip. So there's probably different colors you can get. Let's see how this one's gonna go. Ready for it? Let's see if I can do the, maybe I can get the blush to like cover some of this mess I made. I probably shouldn't have started trying to wipe it to fix it. There we go. How pretty is that? All right. Definitely see a big difference from each side. It's always crazy where I first spray it, isn't it? This one's a little better. Yeah. I think it's going to take a little getting used to, y'all. Okay. This time I am going to wipe it back out. I'm going to clean it one more time, and then we'll try the illuminator drops, which I assume are kind of like highlight. Just know it probably takes you a little getting used to working with the blush and the bronzer with it, but you'll know how to start applying it. You probably want to like kind of stay a little further away from the face too than I did over here, and just really start moving instead of like having it concentrated over it, because it will look like that. But we're gonna say this is the good side, this is what to do, this is what not to do. Now we're gonna attempt highlight. So I have no clue how this is gonna go. I cleaned it all out and I put the little illuminator drops. I went more with the pearl color rather than the gold, because I'm less of a gold highlight kind of gal, so we'll see how this looks. Ooh, yeah, how pretty. Down the nose a little. don't know how it works to do the Cupid's bow. It works. Look. That is pretty. It has the highlight. It has a highlight look. It might be hard to do some of the, like I use highlight a lot on like the eyes, right in here on the brow bone and in the corner sections. I don't know if I'm going to attempt that with this, but it really does give like I'm going to put a little bit above the brows maybe. Gives you a glow. Oh, I bet it would be amazing for doing, okay, you probably have to apply a little more in there. I probably just ran out, but the collarbone for brides, I think that's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And that's where I struggle to get enough highlight on the brides there. So I think this airbrush is going to be awesome for that. Okay, I know I'm looking like a clown because of this side, so let's just, even this side's a little heavy. So yeah, I think just getting the hang of the bronzer, using it. But it's still, I mean, it's neat to have tested this out and really get a feel for it. So that's amazing. I never even thought of doing the bronze and the blush using the airbrush system. So fabulous that I could try that out. Okay guys, so I had to go stop my video and go run and pick up my son from school. This is the life of a mom that also blogs. And I had to go in the school pickup line looking like that. So that was fun. I don't think anybody saw me though, so good thing we can stay in the car, right? But anyway, so I am going to test out brows now. I just didn't have time to do it before I left. I went ahead and removed my brow makeup, which I really should have done this first, or I should have done, I think the process, you probably want to do the foundation first before you do anything, then brows, and do your concealer and all that, and then, or brows and, the eyes, concealing, then come in and do a better job than this on your bronzer and blush and highlight, and that is your complete look. So obviously doing this out of order, but I thought about it later and was like, oh no. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. I cleaned my machine out too to get it ready for the brows, and I'm gonna put in again just a few drops of the brow product. I'm going with the color brown. I'm gonna assume that's my color. It looks a little brown though, so we'll see. We'll see. And I'm gonna assume that I probably should read the instructions. I really probably should. They do have a little card here that says that you can look up videos on how to do this. If you hear noise in the background, it is because my son is now home and it gets noisy here. So they have different shades. They have a platinum, auburn, blonde, brown, and black. So I'm thinking for me, probably the brown. I mean, maybe the blonde. It says blonde, but it kind of looks like a subtle, like a lighter shade of brown, I'm gonna try the brown. I'm usually, in brow products, I'm usually like a brunette or a soft brown is what I usually go with. And then pick out the stencil that probably is closest to my brow. Like that. This is gonna be fun. I'm gonna assume this is how it works. I think it's more fun to just not read the instructions. Let's see what kind of disasters happen. Okay, y'all ready? See how this goes. Woo! I'm probably getting too close. How fun. Now, this is the way to go, man. I'm going to kind of hold the stencil here for a minute and let it dry for a couple seconds before I remove it, just in case it does anything when you remove the plastic. Interesting, huh? Wow, look at that, y'all. Huh. Interesting. Well, it's not like super precise on there, but you can, always clean it up with a Q-tip, like while it's still drying, probably. There we go. I've got like natural scars and stuff in my brows. So if you really like your brows like super precise, I don't know how this will work, but it does just kind of give like a general outline. You can always fill the brows in a little bit more too. But it does almost look more natural, don't you think? So it's probably not going to give you that like super sculpted, almost drawn on look. It just looks like natural brows. It has that appearance of like a natural look, just like airbrush. It's like, it all looks like your own skin, which I love. So interesting how it worked. Okay, yes, we have the matching one on the other side. So I'm going to, it's hard to tell if I'm matching them up the same. I honestly don't always use stencils. Like, I've tried stencils before, and I feel like even just lining them up is the same as if I tried to get them precise with my traditional brow makeup, right? Okay, ready? Here we go. I would recommend closing your eyes just in case any goes down and hits your eyes, but I'm keeping it pretty close. My finger's in the way, so it's hard to like really get the whole thing. Maybe that was the problem before. Oh shoot, I took it off too soon. Ooh! Okay, not even, but that's probably because I took it off. So I'm gonna just come in with a Q-tip, clean it up. Okay, and I definitely went a lot heavier handed on this side than on this side, and you can tell. So, and I was up closer to it. So it's probably just a matter of like, you know, working on evening it out. Wow, I feel like this is more pointed on this side, don't y'all? I don't know how that happened. Ah, now I'm making it worse. So yeah, this probably takes a little getting used to too. I'll be honest, my honest review, I probably will not use the brow for this, but I think somebody who likes a very natural look and is just kind of doing this all as part of the whole thing, it might be a cool option for them. But I much prefer mine like a lot more sculpted and like fuller. But if you don't do brows a lot and you're just like, you hate brows, you just want to pop these on and airbrush them on, I think it'd be a good alternative for you. So, okay, so my overall review, so I think brows are probably the only thing that I'm like, I don't know. I'm not feeling the brows as much. However, everything else I think is amazing. What was interesting was I went to go pick up my son in the middle of this, and I was taking some pictures, and I could just really see the difference in the pictures, the way that the finish is in them. And you might not be able to tell as well in video right now, but I'm sorry, it looks like, yeah, I messed them up. So you definitely want to do your brows first, because look at that. Look what it did. Or that may have been when I was taking my brows off. I probably took it off with my eye makeup remover, but anyway, I got distracted, sorry. So as far as the finish goes, I really noticed the way that it picked up on things in the photographs. It definitely took on a lot more of an airbrush finish. Our little secret is sometimes I touch up my pictures because my wrinkles really show through in pictures. And these pictures, I don't feel the need to touch up at all. I don't need to put a filter on them, nothing. I feel like the skin just looks like glass. And so I really love the finish it's given off in pictures. So I love this coverage. I do, for me, feel that I needed to go with the heavy coverage. So I needed to do 3 coats of it. And I think that was just covering, you know, a couple of those little spots in there. But again, for my issues, the concealer took care of it. So coverage was good. The finish was amazing. And then as far as the bronzers and blush and highlight go, I think that I love, we'll just look at the side. I love the look of it when you do it right. So it's obviously the cons of it are you're going to have to get the hang of it. You're going to have to practice the technique so that you don't end up like this. But that's with anything, you know, really the first couple times you use it, you've got to practice, you got to kind of get a feel for it, get the hang of the system. So I think with a few rounds of like getting the hang of spraying just the right angle, I think you can get it down and it'll be perfect. And I just love the look of it. I mean, before I had this little disaster, it takes me a little while to like do it traditionally this way and get it with the right finish, but it's like this was just spraying it right on and it was perfect. And the way that it looked in the photographs was just so definitely recommend it. Definitely think it's going to be amazing for if you're doing photo shoots and for weddings and events like that where there will definitely be photography. That is what I really recommend it for. So I think for me, I'm going to be stocking up on all of their colors, and I think I'm going to be using this for my clients. I do recommend it, guys. All right, I think that wraps everything up. Thank you so much for having the patience and coming along, and hope you got a few laughs out of my little blush disaster here. And check this one out for yourself. I'm going to try to put all the information down below in the caption. And I just want to again say thank you so much to Luminess for giving me the opportunity to try this. And it was an amazing box of goodies that were sent to me. I really appreciate it, and I am hoping to do lots of business with you guys in the future. So that's about it, folks. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.